This week I pulled out a few new fragrances that I absolutely fell in love with, so stay tuned. Yo, what's good guys? Hunter here and welcome back to the channel where I upload weekly fragrance content. So make sure to hit that subscribe button down below and be sure to follow me over on my Instagram page. But that's right guys, another weekly fragrance rotation series, and I'm glad to see all you guys are back here and hope you all had a fantastic week smelling great. If you aren't familiar with this series though, we basically run down what fragrance are worn each day, how many sprays, the kind of weather outside, and of course, if that particular fragrance got a compliment or not. So let's get right into Sunday. Sunday was in the low 50s and cloudy outside, and I pulled out a new Lattafa, and this one is Sauvage, which is a crazy name. I'm not even sure exactly what that means, but this fragrance though, besides that name, is an awesome fragrance. It's kind of related to like Acqua di Gio Profumo, but for some reason it doesn't have that smoky incense. It's a little bit more like almost spicy, aromatic. I really enjoyed the wearing experience with Sauvage. And lately guys, I've been on a huge Lattafa kick. Like anytime I walk into like a rack store and I see some Lattafas in there that I don't already own, I immediately had to scoot them up. This one was not a regret at all. Some Lattafas are regrets. This one though is great. Highly recommend checking this out, especially for the price. And if you're looking for almost like a signature scent that could be worn all year round and somewhat similar to like Acqua di Gio Profumo or the Parfum, absolutely get your nose on this one. I did do 6 sprays of this one. The performance was very good for what it is, being somewhat of an aromatic fresh style fragrance. Actually no complaints whatsoever from this one from Lattafa, and I'm thinking about ranking all my entire Lattafa collection very soon, so let me know down below if you'd be interested in that. Monday happened to be in the high 50s and cloudy outside, and I pulled out a new release from Supers. This one is Lake Balatin. Now you might have caught my ranking video of Supers, and I talked about this one. In this fragrance right here, I actually prefer over Baccarat Rouge 540 because it kind of takes a twist on that DNA and adds this very tart, citrusy grapefruit mixed together, of course, with that spicy saffron and just a much brighter version of that scent profile. If you love Baccarat Rouge, you'll absolutely love Lake Balatin. Obviously not a clone, but I could see it being inspired by it. Just adds that very nice grapefruit, and grapefruit's probably my favorite citrus fruity note to begin with, so I absolutely love this release. Also probably a more masculine version of Baccarat as well, so if you're some guy that actually thought Baccarat leans a little bit too feminine for you, absolutely try this. And of course, if you do want to try this or anything from Supers, use code HUNTER10 to save you some money at checkout. I did go heavy on the trigger with 10 sprays of this one, and these sprayers are awesome, so it's probably more closer to like 12 or 15 sprays to be honest with you. I also did get a compliment from a girl that never complimented me before, but she's like, Hunter, you smell great. Obviously just said thank you and kind of told her about the fragrance a little bit, but I can totally see people loving this one and getting a ton of attention if you wear it. So that's what I wore for Monday is Supers Lake Balatin. Tuesday was also in the high 50s and cloudy outside, and I was in the mood for a vanilla, and honestly it doesn't get much better than this, and it is Nishane Ani, one of my favorite vanilla centric fragrances on the market, hands down, because you get this zesty kind of spicy ginger note, some black pepper I believe, mixed together with that warm spicy vanilla. It's incredible. It also has this very woody like cedar wood base that I can't see a lot of people not really liking if you don't like woody fragrances, but if you do, absolute must have in the collection, no doubt. Also would make for a perfect date night fragrance as well. If you're taking out a lady to like a nice dinner in the evening time, Ani will do the job perfectly for you. Also did get a compliment with Ani on that day. I had a guy ask me what the heck you got on. It smells so unique and never smelled anything like it. And that's the kind of comments you will get wearing something like this, because it is niche. It doesn't smell like any designer fragrance that you can find at like Macy's, Dillard's, etc. So to the average person that doesn't know as much as like me and you when it comes to fragrances, you're gonna get some crazy comments and attention with a fragrance like this. It absolutely stands out. So if that's you looking for a vanilla kind of spicy woody fragrance that wants to stand out, absolutely check out Ani. Also did 10 sprays of Ani, which is definitely overkill, no doubt, because this stuff isn't extrait de parfum. Very heavy wearing experience as well, so you don't need that many, but that's usually my go-to spray routine. Some may call me an oversprayer, but then even there's some people that might call me a sissy sprayer, because some people out there spray like 15 plus, which to me even is a little bit outrageous. I think about 6 to 10 sprays is the absolute sweet spot. But that's what I wore for Tuesday is a Nishane Ani. Wednesday was in the low 60s and cloudy outside, and I pulled out Duas Enter the Tiger, which you guys could probably all guess what this is inspired by. Of course, Bulgari Tiger, which was one of my signature scents a little while back. I kind of switched it from Tiger to Louis Vuitton L'Immensité because I think it suits me a little bit better, but it is very hard to choose personally. However, Enter the Tiger is a fantastic version of Tiger, and if you don't know that scent profile, very simplistic. Grapefruit, ginger, and Broxton, and that's basically it, but it makes for an incredible signature scent worthy, versatile freshie. And this one, it kind of takes a little bit on the sweeter side. With that grapefruit, it's a little bit more sweet rather than like citrusy and tart. And the whole time I was wearing that, I was thinking that as well in my head. And it's funny because I did do 10 sprays of this as well. Very strong fragrance like you kind of expect from Duas. But I had this guy give me a compliment that said what I'm wearing smells good and smells very sweet. And like I said, in my head, I was thinking this is like a sweeter take on Tiger. And then he said that as well, which kind of just confirmed it even more. If you love Tiger, you don't want to spend $400 on a bottle and you maybe want a little bit of a sweeter version of it, absolutely check out Enter the Tiger. And these things are like $30 or so. And as you can see, I wear this one a ton, as you can see from that juice level right there. These are, I believe, 30 mLs as well, but that's what I wore for Wednesday is Duas Enter the Tiger. Thursday was in the mid 30s and snowy outside. It was the first snowfall of the year where I'm from, which honestly I'm not really looking forward to, even though it's beautiful. I just hate how messy it is and driving in it, etc. But I did want to pull out a tobacco fragrance for that weather, and I went with Hubagot's Tobacco Nomad, which is one of the smoothest, classiest tobacco fragrances in my entire collection. Not really that smoky cherry pipe tobacco. It's more of like a fresh, sort of like green, smooth tobacco. And like I said, done in an extreme classy way. It's also mixed together with a little bit of rose, which probably adds to the classiness, and some spices, which are just incredible. A little bit of like a sweet vanilla sort of leathery base. And if you don't know, Hubagot's one of like the first niche houses ever made. They're actually behind Fougere Royale, which was actually the first Fougere aromatic fragrance on the entire market back in the late 1800s. You already know this house comes with extreme class. I also did my usual spray routine, 10 sprays with Tobacco Nomad. The projection isn't really the best, even though the longevity is extremely good. So if you're looking for a classy tobacco fragrance for those cold winter months, absolutely you could check out Tobacco Nomad from Hubagot. Friday was in the low 40s and rainy outside, and I pulled out yet again another new Supers fragrance in the collection. This one is $18.99, which I believe is the newest launch from Supers as well. And this is a very good, calming, green, sort of grassy, fresh style fragrance. And I went with this one because I did hit up the gym, and this is like a perfect kind of inoffensive, fresh gym fragrance that suits it perfectly, and probably one of the better freshies from Supers, at least from my collection, because most of mine are like heavy hitters for like fall and winter. This is probably one of my go-tos from Supers for those warmer months, even though it wasn't really warm on that day. But still, if you want a gym style fragrance, this is great for it. And of course, Hunter 10 will save you 10% off. And I just love this very classy kind of Italian frosted style bottle going on there. Absolute gorgeous. Now, I did do 6 sprays of $18.99. The performance was pretty good for being a green, grassy, fresh style fragrance. No complaints at all. Of course, these are extrait de parfums, but that's what I did choose to wear to the gym on Friday is $18.99. Wrapping the week off on it, Saturday was in the mid 40s and cloudy outside, and I pulled out a brand new fragrance that I fell in love with immediately, and this one is Bouchard Colbert Knife Thrower, and that is just an awesome name. One of the best names for a fragrance in my opinion, guys. This stuff is incredible. I sampled this one a few months back and just had to have a bottle in the collection because, like I said, I fell in love with it immediately when I had the sample of it, because it's in my favorite genre of perfumery, in that kind of Tiger, L'Immensité, vibrato with the ginger, grapefruit. However, this one does take a beautiful twist because in the dry down, it dries down to this very kind of aromatic herbaceous green fern note. It is also a little bit earthy, and I love the way it's done. Also gives off this kind of watery aquatic tone mixed together with the grapefruit and ginger, sort of in the same way L'Immensité does those sort of notes, which if you don't know, that is my signature scent. So it's without a doubt I would fall in love with this one as well. Absolutely gives it a run for its money when it comes to that realm of fragrances. I did go 10 sprays with Knife Thrower. Also just wanted to test the performance, see how it kind of responded to my skin, develop developed, etc. And I did get a compliment from the girl I was with when she got in my car. She's like, wow, you smell good and very familiar, because of course I do wear my signature scent around her quite often, so she is familiar with this scent profile. But she didn't know it was my signature scent, so like I said, it is pretty different, just in the same genre with that very earthy fern note that makes it stand out. Probably one of my favorite discoveries this year, hands down, guys. Knife Thrower is awesome, and I also do have a code with them as well, Hunter10. So if you want to check this one out or anything else from their line, or just get a sample set, you can save 10% off at checkout. And like I said, this one in particular is mind-blowing. That's gonna do it for this video, guys. As always, let me know down below the fragrances you guys wear throughout the week. You guys are always smelling great. And also leave a like, subscribe if you guys haven't already, and of course I'll catch all of you back here in my next upload. Take care, everybody.